Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Lee J, and we are going to listen to some music today that is right. We're going to check out some more Bob Dylan. I know y'all love it when I check out Bob Dylan.
He's the best.
Bob Dylan is such a storyteller. He's a man with something to say, and he always says it in a very interesting way. I didn't mean that to rhyme, and I promise I won't do it all the time, but sometimes you just can't help it. You know what I mean?
No more rhymes now, I mean it.
Make sure to do all those very important things right down below. You know what to do. And we're going to check out this Bob Dylan song. The title of this track really caught my attention. You know, that's one thing we've learned about Bob Dylan is he really grabs you just with the title alone. You know, you see a song title, "A Hard Rain's a Gonna Fall," and already you're interested. You know, he didn't name the song "A Hard Rain's Gonna Fall." He named it "A Hard Rain's a Gonna Fall," and just that added "a," I mean, it already just piques our interest. Here we go.
Oh, where have you been, my blue-eyed son? And where have you been, my darling young one? I've stumbled on the side of 12 misty mountains. I've walked and I crawled on 6 crooked highways. I've stepped in the middle of 7 sad forests. I've been out in front of a dozen dead oceans. I've been 10,000 miles in the mouth of a graveyard. And it's a hard rain, you're gonna fall. Oh, what did you see, my blue-eyed son? And what did you see, my darling young one? I saw a newborn baby with wild wolves all around it. I saw a highway of diamonds with nobody on it. I saw a black branch with blood that kept dripping. I saw a room full of men with their hammers a-bleeding. I saw a white ladder all covered with water. I saw 10,000 talkers whose tongues were all broken. I saw guns and sharp swords in the hands of young children. And it's a hard rain, you're gonna fall.
I do want to say that the imagery, there's so much imagery happening, and we're only 2 minutes and 26 seconds into the song. I love that the song is in 3. You know, it's that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. He is painting so many pictures, and he uses numbers, he uses colors, there's descriptions. You know, I heard like a dozen dead oceans, I want to say, and like 10,000, was it 10,000 men with broken tongues? He uses color. He just paints so many pictures. I mean, my mind is trying to process all of these images. I'm looking forward to looking at the lyrics after we finish listening to the song. The song already just feels heavy. It feels heavy. Okay, let's keep going.
Oh, what did you hear, my blue-eyed son? And what did you hear, my darling young one? I heard the sound of a thunder that roared out a warning. I heard the roar of a wave that could drown the whole world. I heard 100 drummers whose hands were ablazing. I heard 10,000 whispering and nobody listening. I heard one person starve, I heard many people laughing. I heard the song of a poet who died in the gutter. I heard the sound of a clown who cried in the alley. And it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard rains are gonna fall. Oh, what did you meet, my blue-eyed son? And who did you meet, my darling young one? I met a young child beside a dead pony. I met a white man who walked a black dog. I met a young woman whose body was burning. I met a young girl, she gave me a rainbow. I met one man who was wounded in love. I met another man who was wounded in hatred. And it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard rains are gonna fall.
Wow, I love that he says, I met a young man who was wounded by love. And then he met another young man who was wounded by hate. I'm paraphrasing. I think that's about what he said. It's just so true and so honest. It's so simple and sincere. And he just so poetically writes it into this song. It doesn't rhyme. It doesn't even matter.
Doesn't matter.
And what'll you do now, my blue-eyed son? And what'll you do now, my darling young one? I'm a-going back out for the rain starts a-falling. I'll walk to the depths of the deepest dark forest, where the people are many and their hands are all empty, where the pellets of poison are flooding their waters, where the home in the valley meets the damp, dirty prison, and the executioner's face is always well hidden, where hunger is ugly, where the souls are forgotten, where black is the color, where none is the number. And I'll tell it and speak it and think it and breathe it, and reflect from the mountains so all souls can see it. And I'll stand on the ocean until I start sinking, but I'll know my song well before I start singing. And it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, and it's a hard, it's a hard rains are gonna fall.
It sounds like a one take. He did the whole song in one take. It's so raw. It's real. I can envision Bob Dylan singing this to me in a room. Just in a room with, no fancy lights, nothing like that. It's just, he wrote this poem and he set it to music. And these are the words of a man who has done a lot of living and a lot of observing. He clearly has traveled all around the world, touring, and he's just seen so much, and he's felt a lot, and he's a man who has also felt a lot through other people. Wow, amazing. The song, let's see, how long is it? This is a 6 minute and 51 second song. That's almost 7 minutes long.
7.
I love how in the chorus, it's got that sing-songy vibe. Like, I envision men on a ship. Go ho and blow the man down. Drop a comment below if you hear what I am hearing and if you can see that picture. And of course, we're going to check out the lyrics. This is from Bob Dylan's website. You got to appreciate this like pinkish red banner at the top. I appreciate that.
It's so pink.
Written by Bob Dylan, of course. Oh, where have you been, my blue-eyed son? Oh, where have you been, my darling young one? I've stumbled on the side of 12 misty mountains. I've walked and I've crawled on 6 crooked highways. I've stepped in the middle of 7 sad forests. I've been out in front of a dozen dead oceans. I've been 10,000 miles in the mouth of a graveyard. And it's a hard, and it's a hard. It's a hard, and it's a hard. And it's a hard rain's a gonna fall. He opens this song with so many images and the use of numbers. It reminds me of the that Christmas song, the one I'm talking about, the 12 Days of Christmas. It's beautiful. It's also mysterious. When he says, I've been out in front of a dozen dead oceans. Like, what does he mean by that? And then this other line, I've been 10,000 miles in the mouth of a graveyard. I've been 10,000 miles in the mouth of a graveyard. I mean, what does that mean? It just sounds, honestly, it sounds really heavy. It sounds dark. Like, it sounds like he's been in the depths of a graveyard. Like, deep, dark.
Yeah, that sounds very dark.
Let me know what your interpretation of that line is. Okay, next verse. Oh, what did you see, my blue-eyed son? Oh, what did you see, my darling young one? I think it's interesting that he uses a blue-eyed son. I wonder if when he wrote this, he had already had children. Maybe his son has blue eyes. Drop a comment below if you know. And when I was listening to the song, for some reason, my mind heard this as him talking to 2 different people. My mind heard this as he's talking to a son, and then the darling young one, I imagined him talking to a daughter. But now as I read the lyrics, it's as if he's singing to the same person. He's singing to his blue-eyed son. I saw a newborn baby with wild wolves all around it. I saw a highway of diamonds with nobody on it. I saw a black branch with blood that kept dripping. I saw a room full of men with their hammers a-bleedin'. Wow, these lines, this image of a newborn baby with wild wolves all around it. It just sounds so like primitive. I'll admit, I have no idea what that line means. it is interesting that he follows it with, I saw a highway of diamonds with nobody on it. So to me, it's as if, the newborn baby is infinitely more valuable than this highway of diamonds. Like when he uses this description of wild wolves, is he talking about just like people that are hungry and wild, or is he literally talking about wild wolves? Which I'm assuming, being the poet that Bob Dylan is, it's not so literal. It's metaphoric for something else, for something darker.
Poetry.
I saw a white ladder all covered with water. I saw 10,000 talkers whose tongues were all broken. I really like that line. To me, it's him saying, here's 10,000 people in this room. They're all talking, and yet they're talking nonsense. I saw guns and sharp swords in the hands of young children. Oof, that's dark. And it's a hard, and it's a hard. It's a hard, it's a hard, and it's a hard rain's a gonna fall. I also noticed as I was listening to the song that, he not only emphasizes the word hard, he really digs in vocally to that word rain. He really leans into that A sound, and it just sounds a bit harsh, a bit brass, but it just gives that line so much feeling.
I feel it.
And what did you hear, my blue-eyed son? And what did you hear, my darling young one? I heard the sound of a thunder. It roared out a warning. Heard the roar of a wave that could drown the whole world. I do wonder if the next few lines are the response to the question, or if it's Bob Dylan, the narrator, inserting like what he heard. Heard 100 drummers whose hands were ablazing. Heard 10,000 whisperin' and nobody listening. Heard one person starve. I heard many people laughing. Heard the song of a poet who died in the gutter. Heard the sound of a clown who cried in the alley. Wow. In a way, someone is hearing sadness. They're hearing sadness and despair, and they're hearing war, the sounds of pain, the sounds of just so much pain and despair. Drop a comment below if that's your interpretation of this as well. I mean, just this line, heard the song of a poet who died in the gutter. I mean, gosh, just think about some of those starving musicians. I wonder if this is him giving us a glimpse into, like the dark corners of his mind and some of his own fears. Like he doesn't want to die alone as a songwriter, as a poet in a gutter. Like that paints such a dark picture. And then this last line, heard the sound of a clown who cried in the alley. I've always thought clowns were really kind of creepy and sad personally. And then the chorus, and it's a hard, and it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, and it's a hard rain's a gonna fall. It's so interesting. It's like all these dark images, and then the rain's gonna come. And I wonder if it means the rain's gonna wash everything clean.
You'll be washed clean of all your sins.
Oh, I'm clean.
Oh, who did you meet, my blue-eyed son? Who did you meet, my darling young one? I met a young child beside a dead pony. I met a white man who walked a black dog. I met a young woman whose body was burning. I met a young girl. She gave me a rainbow. I met one man who was wounded in love. I met another man who was wounded with hatred. Oof, gosh, there's so much happening right now. I mean, you can close your eyes and see a portrait of a young child next to a dead pony. I mean, it's clearly a very dark image. And then I met a white man who walked a black dog. Just the contrast of that. I wonder what he means with this line. I met a young woman whose body was burning. Whose body was burning. Is that literal, or is it like burning with desire or something else? I met a young girl. She gave me a rainbow. That is honestly the first sign of hope in the song. He meets this young girl and she gives him a rainbow. Whenever I see that word rainbow, I think of the rainbow that appears in Noah's Ark. After all that rain. Ooh, I wonder if this also connects to all the rain from Noah's Ark. Am I reaching? Drop a comment below. Let me know if I'm just really reaching right now and I'm making connections that may or may not be there. I do love this line. I said it earlier. I stopped the video when he sang, I met one man who was wounded in love. I met another man who was wounded with hatred. Ain't that the truth? I do wonder now, though, if love wounded you, is it really love or is it something else? Maybe it was desire, or it could have been hormones. Could have been hormones, which is desire. Or maybe it was attachment. It could have been need. Okay, and then the chorus again. I'm going to just go to this last section. Oh, what'll you do now, my blue-eyed son? Oh, what'll you do now, my darling young one? I'm a-going back out, for the rain starts a-fallin'. I'll walk to the depths of the deepest black forest, where the people are many and their hands are all empty, where the pellets of poison are flooding their waters, where the home in the valley meets the damp, dirty prison, where the executioner's face is always well hidden. Oh, there's a word you don't see or say or read very often, executioner. Where hunger is ugly, where souls are forgotten, where black is the color, where none is the number. Whoa. Oh my gosh. What is happening? My brain right now, I feel like I just have like asterisks and question marks going on and exclamation marks just going on in my brain, just a lot of sparks flying.
Confused.
So he asked this question to the blue-eyed son. What are you going to do now? So he's asking his blue-eyed son, right? Where have you been? What did you see? What did you hear? Who did you meet? And what are you going to do now, right? What are you going to do now with all of this traveling, everything that you've taken in of the world? So I'm going to assume that the response is from the blue-eyed son. And his response is he's going to go back out into the world before the rain starts a-falling. Interesting. Drop a comment below if you are following the story, if this is making sense to you. I feel like I'm going to have to read it a few more times, honestly. This is just very deep. It's very dense. I'll walk to the depths of the deepest black forest, where the people are many and their hands are all empty. Interesting. I'm not understanding all of these lines, but when he says, where the pellets of poison are flooding their waters, where the home in the valley meets the damp, dirty prison, it's as if he's saying that nothing is as it seems, right? You can have a home in the valley, but it could be a damp, dirty prison, where You can have an executioner, but you will never know who that person is, right? They're doing the killing, but they don't want to be known for doing the killing. Where hunger is ugly, where souls are forgotten. That line really just hits you in the jugular. Souls are forgotten. Not if you have a relationship with Christ. If you have a relationship with Christ, He will always recognize and see you. He created you. Okay, so that's my response to Bob Dylan. Where black is the color, where none is the number. Oof. He just hits you like punch after punch. So again, this son has gone out into the world. And what he's saying is he wants to go back out before the rain starts. Before the rain starts. Is the son saying, I want to go out, I want to go back out into the world before the rain starts, before the rain washes everything clean. I want to see the world as it truly, truly is, for the darkness and for the beauty, but for the darkness as well. Because the last few lines, he says, and I'll tell it and think it and speak it and breathe it and reflect it from the mountains so all souls can see it. Then I'll stand on the ocean until I start sinking. But I know my song well before I start singing. And it's a hard rain's a-gonna fall. There was a lot happening in the US in the 60s. I'm sure there's a lot of historical context in the song. And I'm sure there's a lot that I missed. I did my best to look at these lyrics and try to understand the mind of a man who, he is just so complex. He's so complex. The way that he sees the world, the way that he saw the world when he wrote the song, and then the way that he describes what he was living through. Ooh, gosh. I feel like my brain needs a massage after that.
Smithers, massage my brain.
Thank you so much for checking out this reaction video and for spending some time together. After that very intense analysis of Bob Dylan, I hope you get a chance to go outside and just take a walk. Lighten the load. That song was heavy. That was really heavy. And if you've stayed till the end of this video, make sure to stay till the very, very end where I share some original music. And if you have another Bob Dylan request, or if you have a song request from another artist, you know where to put that information right down there below. Okay, on that note, wherever you are, be healthy, be blessed, and until next time.